Welcome to your bi-weekly dose of Forge of Empires news. We've got a lot to cover today, from the end of Guild vs. Guild to the St. Patrick's Day event on beta, updates and tweaks to the game, and even a new settlement. Our first story is Update 1.275, which launches on Wednesday and brings some changes that you will love. The biggest change is to the order in which your buildings get motivated or polished. This has been an issue many players have been complaining about, especially with the onset of lots of motivatable one-by-one buildings such as the Storm Spire. Now buildings are organized into 5 tiers. The top tier that will be aided first are limited, league, and ranking buildings, such as the Tower of Champions or the Trailside Smithy. Basically any of those very hard to get buildings. Next are powerful or generated buildings, so think Keymaster's Workshop or Jester's Stage, something that produces event buildings or is produced by event buildings. The third tier is where our normal event buildings fall, as well as daily specials. For example, both the Thundering Lab and the Tower of Whispering Horrors fall in this category. Fourth is where older event buildings sit, such as the Pergola and Golden Crops, things from events a few years ago. And fifth and final come the buildings that don't provide any rewards that would cause the multi-reward window. Think Athlon Abbey and House of Horrors. These follow the original aiding priority, where it goes fragments, forge points, goods, units, metals, and finally guild power. If you don't have the full complement of nutcrackers yet, this should help out quite a bit. And even more good news, the guild battlegrounds rankings are getting improved. Instead of being able to have victories in lower leagues count towards the final championship rankings, now only victories obtained in Diamond League seasons will count. Some other improvements bring scrolling to text windows. Now, every so often the names of long items, such as fragment productions, will scroll to allow you to read the entire thing. In bug fixes, we also have a lot coming with this update. A bug where you could lose your story quests in the Iron Age was fixed. The age summary for the Oceanic Future was missing a few units, but now they're there to continue making Oceanic Future the best fighting age in the game. The magical winter snow globe was showing a goods production icon when it doesn't produce goods. The multi-reward window didn't stack forge point packages together, and now it'll look a little nicer. Buildings such as the Aegean Resort that provide forge points as part of a random production were not receiving the forge point boost from buildings such as the Forgotten Temple. This is actually a huge buff to the Aegean Resort. Another event building, the Autumn Vineyard, actually ages up automatically, no renovation kit needed. However, its army stats wouldn't update, but now they will. And the names of the avatars from the wildlife event didn't match correctly per the announcement. For mobile-only players, there was a bug where you could still get ads after purchasing the no ad subscription, which is quite funny. And if you upgraded buildings too quickly, you could end up with negative population. Now, it should be fixed, but let support know if you've still got negative population problems. Moving on, our main story today is none other than the end of Guild vs. Guild on the beta server. To stress this again, that's on the beta server and ended, well, yesterday. Rankings are locked and the map is closed. It will take some time longer before this comes to live servers, so you and the handful of others still playing the feature can keep on fighting. With the removal of Guild vs. Guild will come some tweaks. All great buildings that have fierce resistance will have the support pool component of this boost removed. The observatory, which provided support pool, will gain fierce resistance, making it an extremely efficient little building. The support pool and prestige bonuses from the guild level will be removed, and as a result, the rewards from the guild levels will be condensed. You will now get the maximum boosts from level 65 on, and that includes an increase to the recruitment time and town hall forge points bonuses to 40% and 20 forge points respectively. And as a nice inclusion, all players will receive the last province, a pretty 3x3 building. If you're a leader in your guild, know that metals and guild goods spent in Guild vs. Guild will not be reimbursed, so prepare for the end of Guild vs. Guild with such costs in mind. And again, this is not happening on live servers yet, so don't go all out yet. Also, join a guild on beta if you'd like to take part in the testing for quantum incursions. It will be starting very soon, and you don't want to be left behind. In other news, the St. Patrick's Day event will soon be returning to the game. It's the same as ever on the beta servers, but there are some cool rewards, like a 2x2 that's roadless and produces finished special production item fragments, and upgrades to the Druid Hut that make it even more powerful, as well as producing upgrades for the Druid trees. Not to mention, you even get a building that produces fragments for the main event building if you place in at least the Bronze League. That's nice to see. It's the same minigame as ever, so love it or hate it, get ready to spend some time playing through towns. I'll of course make a video for it, and I'm also in the process of updating my spreadsheet, including adding a tool that lets you calculate the cost for a variety of the prizes in case you want to target a specific amount of rewards. There will also be mini challenges for the St. Patrick's Day event, but they're not really worth playing and cost way too much for the rewards you get back as they're currently balanced. What I'm hoping will be worth playing is the brand new settlement that seems to be in development. We recently got the first images of a Polynesian settlement, and the buildings look quite beautiful. The art team knocked it out of the park with Moogles, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do the same with the Polynesian settlement. So far, we haven't seen anything to suggest the quirk of the minigame. Will there be negotiating or fighting for goods? Maybe a minigame or maybe a chain mechanic? We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully it's one that has a lot of replayability. That's about it for this week though. Tune in next week when we talk about how the game is doing financially and how we in Forge of Empires will enjoy the launch of the next title from InnoGames. Join my Discord server to get notified of game updates and news in advance. And as always, I'll see you all next time.